This is step-by-step guide how I actually became focused, so you can just copy me. Not gonna take too long, but this took me 1 year and you're gonna learn this by the end of this video. First of all, who am I and why I'm claiming this? I'm just a YouTuber who's been trying this shit for 1 year and found that focus in productivity is single greatest tool to actually propel your business to progress in every single niche possible. If you want to do well in all businesses for the rest of your life, you just have to improve focus. You just have to be more productive and efficient. And when I realized it, I started focusing more and I get more things done, which directly correlates to my income in the future. We'll start with short-term and long-term focus. There are two types of focus. We usually think about short-term, but we always miss long-term, which always kills us. First of all, let me tell you a little story of mine. When I was riding a bike higher up the city, when I'm close to mountains and everything, I'm super tired, like it's going uphill. And I don't really want to cycle anymore. I'm fucking exhausted. It's been like 8 kilometers since I'm on this 12 kilo machine, which is like 7 years old. Actually, it will be faster to go by feet. But I decided to suffer a little bit and I'm going uphill. And I just put my head down and I'm just cycling, not thinking about anything, almost subconsciously. And by some magic, I've managed to cover all 10 kilometers uphill to the other side of the city. I've like crossed half of the city in 1 hour. And this was representation of short term. I didn't look at my goal, destination. I was just going right along the path. This shit also happens when I'm hiking. You can see the destination. It's like Everest. And here I am with my trekking poles, my backpack, and I really like looking at my destination. Seeing those snowy peaks, looking at me from thousands and thousands of meters above. I think, yo bro, this path is actually better. I'm just going and I can turn left here. I think the path is easier. If I go right, I can shortcut it. And actually there's another mountain here that is a bit lower, that is easier, and that looks sexier. So I can go either ways. And I'm not looking at where I'm going. I just put my head up on a destination. And this is long-term focus. You see your destination and here are shiny objects. Here are greener grass, things, activities. You want to check them out. But your only goal is to just get the destination. Short-term and long-term are important equally. But if you miss up at least one of them, you'll fuck up. If you don't know how to focus short term, how to put your head down and just get to your destination, you will just not progress. You will go super slowly, and the amount of time it will take you to get to the point with your focus is years or decades. But if you don't have long term, you will just never get to your point. You will always feel like there's a better way, there's a better path, and you'll miss your point. So they're both equally important, but today we're gonna look at short-term focus. This is short-term leverage. How focus influences our work and our results. Let's imagine 3 guys, Mike, James, and Nate Dogg. They all have same units of time, 10, 10, and 10. Essentially, this 10 represents 24 hours. Everyone has the same, right? They have the same goal, exact one. Get rich making videos online, which is actually what we want to do. Here are units of focus. This represents their ability to focus short term on a task at the moment and not get distracted. As we see, Mike has 2, James has 4, Nate Dogg has 10. So they have the same amount. The outcome of their units of time and units of focus is units of productivity. We'll get to that point, but results we get, how productive we are, is directly going from units of focus. If we all have the same opportunity, if we all have the same units of time, it means only thing that matters is our inputs, it's our units of focus. And what we see, if we go here, units of productivity. Mike has 20 units of productivity. If we take our time and times it by focus, right? It's going 20 units of productivity from possible 100. As we see, James has 4 units of focus, which is 4 units of productivity if it times it by units of time. Nate Dogg, on the other side, has 100 units of productivity. He's maximum focused and concentrated, which is 5 times more than Mike. This is the short-term focus leverage. So our initial goal is, yes, free our time to get more things done, but more importantly, how we get those things done in the same amount. Our focus, ability to concentrate on singular unit of task. All we should do is just improve this number. Just improve units of focus. Starting with essentialism. This is me, and this is you by the end of this video when you realize path of essentialist is the key. This is the king, bro. When you're living your normal life, let's imagine that there's Fortnite, there's TikTok, there are girls, there are parties, clubs, all of this teen, young man stuff, and Cornhub, which contradicts all of our goals, priorities, and values. Not essentialist. Usual mediocre guy will have these all and have 10 goals. Imagine this is guy. Here are his goals. Things that he does. Here's English, MMA. Here's usual gym, to get into shape, to get gains constantly. This is like SAT prep courses. We're still in school, we have to prepare for it. Here is YouTube, our priority. We have to create videos, become financially free, but at the same time, we want to apply for uni. So we're looking at our GPA. You feel those things and you realize there are thousands of things we want to do. But if you take all of those things, this is just 10% progress in each of them. 10% of each thing, which is nothing. You success in nothing if you take everything. Path of Essentialist is on the contrary, having one goal. YouTube, business. Just take this all fucking out. Like this thing will essentially make him money. Will make him millions in the future. So he put the right focus into the right direction. Put out distractions. Essentialist does not care about anything of it. Fortnite is fun, but if he keeps playing it, it's minus 3 to 5 hours every single day, which is like curse to an essentialist. Cornhub is killing manually 1 hour every single day. It kills all mood and drive towards going to your goal, towards like cold approaching women and basically having that masculine power. If you just replace any interactions with girls with Cornhub, there's no motivation for you to work. If you want to build a family, there's no motivation. You want to make money just for yourself, just to live better? Well, this is just selfish. What I'm referring to is focusing on one goal by killing other sheep. There's no way you can become someone on your YouTube feed like Ali Abdal, Hamza, with all this shit. This is all crap. You have to live a life of essentialist, which I actually live right now. I left all of that. I even managed to quit porn once and for all. I don't know for how long, but I feel awesome. This is our initial goal. Focus is actually just a flow state. What is flow state? Well, I've heard this term, but this is eventually ability to get full into one task and forget sense of time, forget anything, and just flow as if there's no other thing. Flow state is the blessing. When you're focusing on one task, there's nothing that can disturb you. It's like a writer writes his book. His ideas are flowing. He has nothing to think about rather than his book, his characters. It's so motivating. It's so like purposeful and meaningful. This is why he works. And focus just allows you to get into this flow state. This is our initial goal, and we started getting it by focusing short term, being essentialist. You'll have no choice but to get into flow. We need to improve our hardware, our environment. We need to prepare it to get into flow state every single day, relentlessly, ignoring all internal distractions. We won't be here too long. Just lock your door, open your curtains, let the sun go in. Don't talk to anyone at this point. I usually break this rule, but what gets you the most focus is just being alone in your room. No distractions, no any signs of outer world. Just you, your PC. Let anyone know that you're doing something. Tell them you're busy and they shouldn't interrupt you this moment. My Asian parents don't usually get this, but if your parents are understanding, they'll absolutely get it and you'll tick this thing easily. So we'll move to software is a bit more important because you'll spend here most of your day, most of your years, and digital minimalism is just optimizing your software for grinding in one task. Usually for me it's Notion, which is where I'm taking my notes, where I'm writing ideas, doing all back end of my work. Right now I'm recording, but to record it, I have to write a script. I have to write a plan, ideas. So this is my usual deep work task when I need to focus. What I can do, open YouTube, open Chrome, open Spotify, and like work for 5 minutes, then go into YouTube, relax, rewind a little bit, get back to Notion, then go into Chrome, look something up, go into Messengers, what my classmates talk about, turn on music, turn on best music ever, best metal, to get distracted. Music is not always a bad thing. Sometimes it heavily helps you out when you're not feeling good, when you're exhausted, when you want to work in a relaxed state of mind. But when you try to do your deep work, you just have to have one tab opened or ignore other tabs relentlessly. Think they don't exist and not gonna be here too long. For you, it can be any app like CapCut, like Photoshop. Just keep in mind that once you work on one task, you do it till the end and then you move on to other apps. I actually got tired of drawing and I just stopped. So we'll continue by just drawing. What you need now is meditation concept. It lacks a little bit, but what is it? 1 year ago, I've heard the concept of right meditation. We all have heard of meditation as concentrating on one thing, not getting any thoughts, and just being focused on my breathing. But it's been broken down. This belief been broken down, and there's a new concept that works really well. Meditation is not having no thoughts. It's specifically having thoughts, but deflecting them, becoming aware of them, and just going back to your state. You're having a thought, and you're eliminating it. This is the same concept to your work. Like, imagine that meditation is micro. There's macro meditation in your work, right? You need to be macro focused macro meditating. I'm not micro meditating. I'm not specifically like laying down and just focusing on my breath, but I do it all the time with my work. When I know I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I'm like 30 minutes into getting ideas and my brain is kind of heating up. So I need to take 5-minute break. When I usually commit a sin by opening my phone, going into shorts, going into YouTube, but I have this ability to go back to my task as fast as possible, not even getting distracted. I got exhausted from hard work. I took a 5-minute break and I got back to working as fast as possible, which is just meditation, but in your work. So just apply that concept. Whenever you feel like, yo bro, thoughts are not coming in, let me just lay down on my bed for 3 minutes. I'll get the idea and come back. This will help you a lot. The meditation concept has another meaning. When you try to focus on a deep work, you keep opening YouTube for some reason. I do it every time, and that's the meditation concept. Getting that thought away and you go to your work again. Just a minute ago, I opened Telegram to look what messages I've got, but I got aware of it and I got back to my work. Always be aware when you get distracted and get back to your state, just like breathing. I need to check my phone to see what's next. This is just a little tip. Do creative tasks to cheat code focus. When we usually try to work, mostly it's shallow work. It's usually those operational tasks like editing, like making a logo, like writing a description, SEO optimization. Those don't involve being creative, turning on your brain, getting ideas. This is just automatic. We have to do it, but we can't delegate it because we don't have no money. It's hard to focus and apply flow state meditation concept into shallow work, but we must do it, and you will enjoy applying focus state to a creative task, which is just made for flow state. Actually, you can get flow state only while you do creative tasks like deep work, scripting, like writing a book, like filming videos, talking to someone, getting on a stage. All of that counts. You just have to get involved into more creative tasks and you'll feel like flow state appears automatically on itself. You don't even need to force it. Next thing, long term. I'm gonna talk about it a little bit. It's necessary for you to always keep in mind what is your goal, where are you going, vision and mission, but I needed to do it backwards, mission and vision, but fuck it. You can be focused short term, but if your mission and vision is wrong, you'll just go wrong direction. You will just mess up everything you've done by going into direction not that you wanted. Always restate and think about your mission and vision, where are you going. It's cool that we can focus short term, but in the long run, if we miss our goal, if we don't align our actions with our goals and values, well, we're fucked. We just ruined all path and journey by going wrong direction. So always restate and keep in mind that this is my goal, this is where I'm going, I need to do these steps. I always restate why I'm here, because I've recently got scammed by a huge sum of money for our family. I have to make money as fast as possible. I found my way. I know my steps. And if I go into wrong direction, if I forget about my goal, if I start going out with girls, if I start playing Fortnite again, I'll miss my vision. I'll just betray my dad, lose his money, but don't give him nothing. So always keep in mind why you're working and for what. I want to talk about shiny object syndrome a little bit more. This is a big enemy for our long-term vision, for our long-term focus. And we always stumble upon better opportunities, better business models, or better girls when we date ours. When our present girl is fine, she's absolutely gorgeous, but that girl is hotter. That girl will give us more pleasure in the bed, in the first date. But as soon as we get dating and it's getting serious, she'll just dump you. This is exactly shiny object syndrome. Like, you always think the grass is greener on the other side. Like, that opportunity is better than mine. I should hop on dropshipping. I can get faster money. But this is usually the woman in the red dress. She's just hot and attractive at that moment. But as soon as you go with her, you realize that she's a fucking nightmare. You're never gonna date her seriously. But your opportunity, it's long term. You're committed. This is just like wife cheating. This cool term will explain you why shiny object syndrome is really bad. Your wife is your current business, like YouTube, like software. I don't know what you're into, but this could be anything like that. That don't give you results in the short term, that will demand a lot of time, a lot of commitment, but it will pay off later when you don't see it. This is exactly wifey material girl. You don't find her super hot. Your wife is not like 10 out of 10. She has some ass, some tits, her face is nice, but you've seen better. But on the long term, she's such a loyal girl. She'll be a perfect wife for your kids. She'll be a perfect mother for your kids. You know it. So you make a smart decision by not cheating with other girls that are in red dress, that are super hot, they're 10 out of 10, but you don't see their behavior. It's like a Russian roulette. If you go with them, you don't know what will happen. Either there is a bullet or there isn't. They're gonna kill all of your life that you built upon your wife, upon your YouTube, your long-term business, they'll make you millions in 5 years, but 10K in 2 years. But dropshipping will give you 5K in 4 months. I don't know. I just made up these numbers, but it will essentially give you more now, but you will most certainly fail because there's another concept, zero level. When you think of new opportunities and when you start doing something new, it's like learning to walk again. You don't know how to walk. So your initial step would be to start walking, getting to your point, upgrading, and basically getting to your present level. Let's imagine you're a 5th level on the game of YouTube. You've built some subs, you've made like 50 videos, you're doing it for 1 year, you're getting pretty consistent with it. But you don't see sales, you don't see huge results. So you decide to go into dropshipping, at which you're 0 level. So if you think it's easier to hop on dropshipping and do it super quickly like a side hustle, don't expect it. You will have to go from the transformation that you did from YouTube, but from the scratch. You're losing all of your skills to get back to the state when you couldn't walk. And this is with any opportunity. When you want to cheat on your wife, you'll have to build years and years of connection with that girl that may not be even compatible with you. So long-term focus is fucking important, but our essential focus was short-term. And to focus short-term, you just have to apply leverage by having same units of time, but more units of focus. And finally getting 5 times more units of productivity. Become an essentialist. Delete other fun things that are compelling, they're attractive, but they're moving your business to hell. You don't see any results by doing 10 different things. You get 100 times more outcome if you put everything into one niche. Our main goal is to get into flow state. Forget sense of time. Just focus on one task. Get super concentrated. Have no thoughts. Just float. Get new ideas when there's just meaning, purpose, and commitment to one task at a time. To achieve it, we fixed our hardware. We always lock our door. We're always not physically available for other people when it's our deep work, when we have to do something demanding. Then we fixed our software. When it's time to focus, we just do singular task at one time with one open tab and we ignore other. We don't care. So by doing that, we always apply meditation concept on a macro level. When we feel like we burned our energy, you're having other thoughts, you're getting distracted, you go and take a 5-minute break, you come back, you have more ideas, you're more energized, you're making a right meditation. Now, to get into flow state, you just do creative tasks. Tasks that allow you to flow, whereas shallow tasks that are just time demanding, but they're necessary to do. You work on your long-term focus by restating mission and vision, always knowing where you're going, adjusting your steps to the right goal, always aiming to the initial goal when you want it to be, to not mess up your whole path by curing your shiny object syndrome. Grass is not greener on the other side. If you go and lay on that grass, you're gonna cheat on your wife. That will be the best mom possible in 10 years on some sexy girl in a red dress that is good now, but she'll ruin everything in the long term. And actually, if you date with her, it's gonna take you 10 years to build relationship and connections that you had with your wife. You're learning to walk again from 0 to 5th level where you've been. You're always going backwards if you keep getting distracted and seeing shiny objects. So this is a whole blueprint on how to focus short term and long term. I really do appreciate if you watch till the end. If you're interested, you can check out my product in the link below. Just book a free call with me if you want to be more productive. But remember, you don't have to feel comfortable about it. Just keep going.